Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Coming to you with my cup of matcha. The matcha girlies know. Today, we are chatting to a friend and client of mine, Emma Alden, and she's going to be sharing with you her experience of the Liberated Womb course, which is my signature 6-week program. And she joined the first round in June, July. So I'm going to bring her on now and she can tell you all about her experience. Emma, we waiting for you. Let's see. Yay! Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for being keen to do. Yay! How are you today? Are you sitting in the sun? That looks nice.
Yes, I'm sitting in the sun. It's very nice. Getting the vitamin D.
Love, 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 love. And that's what we need right now, like in the Southern Hemisphere. It's been a long, long
Yeah,
and so
it has.
happy to light codes in the sun once again. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, maybe you want to just tell the people like what's your name, what's your age, where you from, just like a little bit about you, just quickly. Nothing.
Um, my name's Emma, and I'm 23. I'm turning 24 at the end of the year, and I'm from Cape Town, from the northern suburbs actually, but I'm happy to be in the prettier side of the world. um, but I started, I've dealt with depression and anxiety and PTSD, like symptoms of PTSD. And I was misdiagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and I was been in talk therapy since I was little, and just went on that whole medication journey, and then stopped taking them and was put on antipsychotics. And I basically have never felt closer to myself than when I started to actually work with my womb, and I became aware of the information became accessible to me through work and people like Josie who do this feminine coaching. And because I mean it's just not something that you can Google really.
Yeah,
um
yeah.
so learning through mentors and other women who do the work themselves it's been more beneficial to me than any talk therapist I've been to. Even though there are some really good professional psychologists, it's just not the same. um, Basically all my healing was in my mind, and connecting with my womb has helped me to connect to my body, and I've never felt more alive in my actual skin than this year. This year was like the catapult.
Oh my that literally just makes me like so excited because like obviously I know that experience and then like when other
Yes,
people experience that I'm just like life just
yeah,
so much better and you so much more alive like you said like everything is
100%.
more
Yes.
almost as if like the saturation of like the colors of life have been like
Mm,
all the way
brightened.
up. Yeah, everything's brighter and you
Yes,
can see that and
yes.
present. So I'm just like I'm so happy for you, babe.
Thank you. There's so much learning to do, and that's what's so exciting is that I feel like I've actually just kind of dipped my toe into it, and I'm just like getting to know my womb like as her own being, as her like an animal within an animal.
Yeah.
I find it's so fascinating. And the feeling, I always felt like I had intuition because we do, but I didn't have, I felt like I didn't have close enough access to it. But it's as simple as I never sat and closed my eyes and breathed into my womb and like actually like connected with it. I just thought it was just like an organ that was the reason I bled.
Yeah.
um
Yeah. Yeah.
so this
Much.
journey is just like, it's so therapeutic, but it also gives you self-sourced like wisdom, and it's not relying on doctors and psychologists to give you medications and um label you as something. It's just like I'm a normal woman, a normal human being with trauma like most people have, like everyone has, and I can source my own healing.
Exactly. That's like the epitome of what I empower my clients with, is because I want you guys to become your own best healers, not codependent on me to tell you what to do,
Yes.
tell you how to live your life. Like, no, the answers are within you. And so this course
Yes.
is like packed full of just the tools that are going to help you discover
Yep.
and access
Become.
power from within. And I'm so excited that you've had this experience, like learn to love your womb and like appreciate her on such a deep level, because I think like 99% of like the the PMS and the cramps and the issues that we deal with, they're just because like the womb just wants to be loved. Like she just wants
Yes.
attention. She just wants
Yes. And
love.
recently I've been like, have I actually, because I've always over identified with my emotions and thought like, oh, I'm a highly anxious person who's prone to depression. And now I'm like, since learning about cyclical living, I think I only really get depressed and super anxious in 2 weeks of the month. And it's like, and pretty much depression all started when I started to bleed, when I started to hit puberty. So it's kind of like obviously a culmination of so many things, but it's not my identity. And it's like, it's actually just a normal wave, a hormonal wave that I have to face. And it's learning how to look after yourself in those times.
Yeah, totally. And I'll tell you a secret, like the more you do this work and the more you stay devoted to it, the shorter and shorter that time span will become,
That's so good to know.
beautiful. And in a year's time, you're going to be telling me like, oh, like, those 2 weeks I said that I struggled, like now I only
Yes.
2 days, and
2
so
days, that would be amazing. Yeah.
I just stay dedicated to this work, and you stay connected to your body, and you stay on track, and
Yeah.
you honor yourself in these different phases and waves, and not making yourself wrong for anything that you
Yeah.
experience. I think that's a huge
Exactly. Yeah.
then
Finding.
it will get easier. It really, really does. It will get easier. And really the womb like holds all of these codes. So I want to know how, like, your overall experience. I guess you have shared that a little bit, like, but what was your overall experience? How was it for you participating in the course?
Like my biggest takeaway.
Let's do that.
I think I felt so before, even though I've been focused on self-healing, I felt so like kind of like there was a lot deeper I knew that there was a lot deeper to go into, that I felt like I didn't have the tools with like all the knowledge really. And even this week, I'm like, okay, so if I heal my womb, my whole self, my whole being will heal. And that actually, even though you taught that in the course, that's actually only settling and like landing in me this week in a way. I'm kind of like, wait a second, like I'm not, it's like not seeing healing in separate fragments, but as the womb as like the door into healing your whole self. So you don't have to like stress about all the details. It's just like close your eyes, breathe, and drop in to your body. So I think my biggest takeaway, so many takeaways, but the biggest one is that like yesterday I was feeling, even though it's my follicular phase and I'm feeling quite positive, like this is a good time of the month, the external time, I guess. And I felt a little bit directionless yesterday, and I know that's one of the shadow sides of it. And I felt really overwhelmed. And then usually in the past, I just like 2 years ago, that would have just been my mood for the whole day or would have continued into the week. And then I just thought, no, I'm gonna like the only thing now I know that the only thing I can do is literally like squat down, undulate my hips, put some music on, breathe like loudly, and like I don't care anymore if someone can hear me breathing like really, really loudly and violently. like sounds like I'm giving birth like in the flat. And I'm like dancing around, but it's so good. And then I just felt all that energy shift. Um, I always did talk therapy and journaling. I love journaling, but then if you journal all the time, it kind of feels like you're just like it's not. It's still helpful, but it just felt like I put it all down on paper, but then all the feelings were still alive in me.
Yeah.
Um,
I love
and codependency, struggling with being alone, that's lifted off of me in the last 3 months. So I did it in June. So since June, things have been moving quickly.
Yay. Yeah, it can really, like, things happen so exponentially when you're dedicated and when you're working with the womb, because it's like the foundation for everything, as I'm sure you've been saying. It's like once
That's
you,
what I'm realizing.
yeah,
Yes.
what you were saying is like we get so worried, like, oh no, we need to heal this, we need to heal our hearts, we need to heal our head, heal this, our
You just,
emotions, our this. But
yeah.
heal your relationship with your womb, it's like that foundational understanding,
Yeah.
like that then has this like ripple domino effect on the rest of
Mm.
your body and your psyche. And I love that you
Yeah.
yesterday you just like automatically were like, no, we're not going to stay in this space, we're not going to stay in this
Yep.
negative space, we're going to actually move the energy, we're going to flow, we're going to work with it. And like it just was
Yeah.
that's like my number
And I
one
learned
is to make
that.
feeling like practical and the spirituality like
Mm.
for my clients,
Yeah.
understand that it doesn't have to be like, you know, you don't have to meditate for like half an hour a day, crazy long practice,
Yeah.
breath work and this and this and this and this. And it's like, no, it can literally just be as simple as like 5 minutes, 2 songs,
Yeah.
expressing,
It's
dance,
you
count.
in your womb.
Yeah, yeah, the womb moves.
Yes. It's like she's like leading. And it's special because it's like if I'm alone and I've struggled with being alone, like just in my own space, and that's obviously a really core part of being a human and being alive is like being in your own presence and accepting that. And now it's like I think I don't feel as alone when I'm alone because I'm remembering that I'm not alone. Like there's
Bye.
actually a whole consciousness. Yeah, it's so special. And it's definitely like I'm going to use the word mode, a mode of healing that makes the most sense to me as a woman. I think I don't like, you know, there's things that can help, like yoga's great and all these like breath work and, you know, like psychedelics to help healing and all of those things are like add-ons, but it's really special that it can be as simple as you and your womb. It's like an organ in your body.
I love that. I know. And like when you do this work and when you commit to like long, deeper containers, because, you know, it takes a while. It's not something you're going to
Yes.
solve in sessions. It's like you have to keep coming back, have to keep dedicating
Mm-hmm.
yourself to it.
Yes.
Like I said to you guys, ultimately I would love this course to be like 6 months long, but like that's not possible. And so like
Not yet.
weeks. And so like, even the 6 weeks for me a little bit short, but like it's so powerful and so deep, and there's just so
Yeah.
much to get from it. Every time it's like you show up in a new way and you empowering yourself, new understandings of yourself that you've integrated since the last time that you did work. And so I love to hear that for you.
And it's opening so much curiosity because it's like now that I've left that identity of being a depressed person who is going to struggle with these things for the rest of her life, I'm like, actually, like, who am I and what is my truth? Like the way I speak, the way I walk, the way I carry myself, and how something that you said in the course that is really like permeated into my brain is that the world, the way that you treat yourself and how you are with yourself gives a kind of direct permission slip for others on how on how they will treat you and how that they will respond to you. So it's like it's also been a deep confidence like boost. It's like, but from a really authentic place, like not based on how I look or what I'm wearing or like what I'm producing. It's just like actually I feel confident because I'm just a woman who has a womb, and
Yeah,
there's so much wisdom there that I can
yeah,
trust.
yeah, because you've done the work and you're now living in deep connection to and then power source, which is your
Yes,
womb. And so like you said,
yes, yeah,
and authenticity. that's coming from the inside out. It's not, which I think most
Mm-hmm.
people are connected to confidence through like this ego,
Yeah,
whereas when you connect like confidence
Mm.
and your ability to be connected to like your feminine core, it's just like, oh, this is
Yes,
who I am, you know. So I'm
yes, yes.
more of
And then you can like
God.
actualize, and like
And
I have a deeper grip on like what I want to do with my life and the things that I want, and like, but it suddenly all the projections of what I thought I should do kind of just like lifted off, and I was like, wait, I don't want to do that. That's just what I thought I needed to do. But it's like just finding more truth, which is so special.
oh wow, I love that. And let's quickly talk. You were telling me in a voice note yesterday about like your manner, how everything's like manifesting for you, like so much
Yes.
faster.
I so I also another what I learned is that the masculine way of manifesting is by doing and output, and I've always seen manifesting in that
Mm.
way, and it's like really exciting, but I didn't know that there was this whole other way of manifesting, that actually women can just like be just actually they just need to be in their center and be connected to themselves, and then trust and know that you're worthy to receive it, and being specific and asking, and it comes. And that's all started to happen so much more, and in small ways and big ways, since June, since doing this work. Like I feel like motivated to like put effort into manifesting things, because it's actually happening. Like I'm actually seeing fruition, and it's like it's so beautiful. It's like prayers being answered.
Oh, love that.
And I think, and it's a, I can ask more specifically for what I want, because I know more specifically what I want. So just big changes, like finding a home and job opportunities, and like it's also special seeing things that I actually planted seeds for a year ago. Like I found an old mind map that I made, but none of those things started to happen until this year.
Wow.
So it's like
You were,
I wrote it down 2 years ago, but it's all coming up now.
yeah.
Um,
Wow.
and I just two physical like things that I'm just remembering that I wanted to say is I noticed like meditating, the heart to womb meditation, um like a lot of like heat, like almost like a heartbeat like in my womb. And then from doing it more often and more often, and I'm still trying to do it more and more often, I started to notice my heart beating in my belly and my womb during yoga, which I've never felt before, but like so intensely, like very, very strong, like like it can beat fast in your chest, but in my womb, and it's not even placed there. So that was just amazing to feel. And I felt my abdomen, because you drop into your lower half of your body from your mind through this work. I felt a lot of like pent up emotion, like uncontrollable emotion, like rage and grief, without me needing to label it as why I'm feeling sad. Just grief and anger and all of these real and normal and human emotions, but it's like they just came up out of nowhere, and I there's no thought that can be like, oh, you're feeling this because this happened. It's just like, oh, this is stuff that's been sitting in my body for my whole life maybe, and it's just being activated. So,
Yeah.
and it can feel really uncomfortable, but it's because it needs to be felt.
Yeah. And I feel like being in connection to your womb almost gives you like the strength on a deeper level to face those uncomfortable
Yeah,
emotions things, and you
yeah.
feel scared of them, um
Mm,
connected to
definitely.
that inner feminine strength and that grounded ability to be, like you said, in your center. And like the womb
Mm,
center of the body, but it is the center of like our
yeah.
feminine core. And so I just, yeah, I love that. And I really see like the changes in you willing to like just engage with life and engage with yourself and engage whatever you're going through, and not like judge so
I
harsh.
do feel, yes, like I feel more active in my own life. Like it's like mine.
Yes, yes, yes. And how exciting.
Yes, it is exciting.
Um,
Really, it's so hopeful, and I'm so glad that I found this path, and that I'm not in the same place that I used to be, that I'm not going backwards, that I'm actually just growing. And so if this is just only the beginning and I've already felt so much growth and movement and shifting, I can't even, I don't know who I'm going to be in 10 years, but I'm excited.
I know, right? So excited to actually start to.
It can change your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you say this work has changed your life?
I think it's beginning to, I'm in the beginning of changing my life through this work. It's like, it's all starting, I think.
Wow. Wow. So exciting.
And sorry, the other physical thing was a throat tickle during that meditation. It's like the pain in my throat, like, because obviously the heart and the throat and the womb are so connected. So that makes so much sense. When I felt it, I kind of understood, but it was like not like a sore throat feeling. It just came out of nowhere. And then and when I cry, like my mouth and my whole neck and my jaw just like cramps more. And like, I just want to like open my whole mouth a lot to like scream.
Yeah.
So I think there's just a lot of noise that needs to come out.
Yes. Actually telling my one client yesterday that like I recommend as a therapeutic tool for all women to go out into the forest and just fucking scream. Like it's one of my favorite practices.
I need to do that. I haven't done that in a while.
Maybe we can do it later. I'll walk.
Yes. That's good. Yeah. Needed.
More openness in the body, in the voice, in the heart, in the love, in the in the sexuality and the sexuality. That's also I was also going to ask you is how have you, your like sexual relationship to your body has changed?
I feel so much more like it's always I think every woman can relate that your relationship to your body is like it's complicated and like even the way that you see it, but the way that I see my body has been changing through this work, and it's also like I know that my worth is not now rooted from the way that I look, and the way that my body appears, because I know that my body is actually just so much more than the outside, and that it's definitely beginning to heal. There's a lot of healing that can happen there, and like shame, sexual shame, and guilt, and not feeling like I can really be the sensual, sacred, like slut like sexual woman, and that's like a bad thing. So there's a lot of that I actually need, that I think that's going to be one of the biggest parts of this, that's going to be like the most challenging, because that is something I struggle with, but I think this is definitely the way to go, because I've felt that opening more, and I don't feel shame walking around naked and twerking, where in the past that would make me, even if I was alone, like I would just feel like a bit like not comfortable in myself. So there's small baby steps in that area. And I know that like sex will just get better, and orgasms, and learning about like what actually makes me feel good and what doesn't. So there's so much sexual and liberation and empowerment. But also to use your sexual energy, it's not just for intimacy, it's for life, and to manifest, and like to actually just it's a state that women always can and should be in.
Yes.
Because it's so pure.
Yes. Yes, and it's like how we choose to direct it, whether it's for productivity, birth, love, connection, manifesting, whatever it is, it's like the energy pure, and that life energy, it comes from your womb. And so I always see like that the womb is almost like the battery of the car for the human. So if your car running, like what are you gonna do? Your car's not gonna drive properly, it's not gonna drive at all. Like a lot of women are around with like a battery that's like faulty, and they don't even realize how great life could be if only they were into their womb.
That like, because I've always it's crazy, like I've always looked at like embodied women, and maybe like me 2 or 3, 4 years ago, and still now, but also in teenage years, I'd see women who are like the way that they carry themselves and moved in their own body, and I would just look and know and sense that I'm not there, and I'd feel such a like a feeling of like awe and like, you know, jealousy, and just like, what is that? Like, why don't I have that? Like, why can't I move in that way and feel? She looks like she feels so comfortable in her body and in herself, and like every movement is just this graceful, like, and it's effortless, you know, because I could tell that it was effortless. It was just coming from who she was. And I was like, why am I not like that? And then for a while I thought like I was just more of a masculine type of lady, but it was actually just me not being connected to that side. And we all can. And it's like that, it's all just self-sourced joy and bliss. And it's like, it doesn't matter like where you are or who you're with. Like, you could be sitting by yourself in the middle of nowhere, and if you just have that like company within your own being, that like freed up, it's
and
it's
that
so divine, and
from
it's beautiful.
And like the womb becomes like your companion, your best
Yeah,
friend, your
that's what
energized,
I mean. Yeah,
like just she's there
yeah,
all the time, and she's with you all the time. You can draw
yes,
on her strength and her wisdom and her intuition at all times.
yeah.
So that's so
Yes.
exciting. I love this for you. And I want to ask you one last question, and then we can end off. What was your favorite part of the course? The most fun for you to learn about, maybe?
Okay, that's quite a hard one, because I actually think I enjoyed all parts quite equally. But I think the physical embodiment practices and having them, like having access to them, that's felt like such a practical, like, yeah, it felt like a tool that I just have that I can use. So the meditation and the embodiments. But also I also just loved having, like, you know, I could just, if I had a day that I wasn't, I can just put, instead of watching a series or something, you know, like mind numbing stuff, I can put on the content on my laptop, and just, even if I'm drawing or doing something else, just having the, like, hearing the information and keeping all of that awareness at bay, so that because it hasn't left, I'm still learning, so it hasn't it fully integrated yet. So like, to keep reminding yourself and listening and just taking it in, it's like it keeps it in the forefront of your mind, and so it does it, what you won't like just forget. I wouldn't forget, because it's my intention to do this work, but it's just so comforting to have access to all these like sources, and then just putting them on, and like while you're making food or anything, like it's kind of like a podcast to just like be reminded. And then it's also just like, oh, like I'm not alone, you know, like this is work that other women are also doing, and it's just it's hope, it's inspiring.
Beautiful.
And then, and another way I can answer that is the sorry, I had like, my ADD right now is kind of, there's so many things that I want to say. Um, I think, yeah, just like, just all of it, and having the access to it, and yeah, doing a little bit each day, and just, yeah. Oh, now I just remembered. Sorry, I just remembered the all the learning about hormones, and the cyclical living part, and like practical small changes that you can make, that I've already felt major differences. It's so crazy. Like, you don't think that eating a different food on a different day, or doing a different kind of exercise, or even just knowing what day you're on in your cycle, it makes a huge difference.
Huge.
Very, very, it's empowering.
Yeah. Amazing. So you can't say which was your favorite module, hey?
Oh, the favorite module. Okay. I think the healing flow, actually.
Okay, module 1. Yeah, I love
Yes,
that one.
yes. I think the healing flow was really good, and then deepening trust as well.
Beautiful. You must go look at deepening trust. I added a new embodiment
I,
practice.
I went on yesterday, and I saw there was. I'm gonna go get into it again.
Yeah, I added a breast heart
Ooh,
activation, massage heart activation. That's really
beautiful,
that's so yummy,
beautiful,
so juicy.
great.
Thank you so much. And yeah, you even said now
So deeply.
which I'm so excited to chat to you more about that. And that's really incredible. And just seeing your passion for this work and seeing your passion for, yeah, your dedication to your healing journey. It's so inspiring and I'm so proud of you. And yeah, congratulations, my angel.
I feel so close to my great grandmothers or my grandmothers. Like even on my paternal side, it's crazy. Like I've always loved them, but and remembered them, but it's like now I know that they're actually within me, which is so special.
Beautiful, beautiful. And your connection to them through your, I love that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, thank you for being such a special angel and for taking your time to chat with me.
Of course,
Uh,
I'm honored.
bye, sweetheart.
Mwah. Thank you, Josie.
And thank you for all of you who have watched. Lots of love. And if you would like to join the next round of Liberated Womb,
Highly
please DM.
recommend.
It's starting at October. And she is currently on a very special pre-launch price of 4.4k rands or 222 euro. So get in contact with me. That special ends in the next 2 days. And then, yeah, send me a DM if this is something you would like more information on and to dive into your womb healing journey. I would love to support you. And so you too can experience all this freedom, self-love, and liberation that has just shared with us. So thank you, loves.
Liberation.
Now, bye.